What's going on, everybody? It's your boy J-Main, back checking in with the people, back with another video. And today, I feel comfortable. Today, I feel confident in saying that this shit is finally over. This Activision Blizzard King Microsoft acquisition has been plaguing the timeline. It's been all over your favorite podcasts, all in the news cycle. And at this point, after what, 18 months, almost 2 years, I just wanted this shit to be over with. Let's get into, some of the details, some of the talk about Microsoft beating the FTC to win this deal. So the California judge is allowing Microsoft to close its acquisition of Activision Blizzard after 5 days of grueling testimony. Now, here's a statement from Judge Corley. She says, Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard has been described as the largest in tech history. It deserves scrutiny. The scrutiny has paid off. Microsoft has committed in writing, in public, and in court to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation for 10 years on parity with Xbox. It made an agreement with Nintendo to bring Call of Duty to Switch, and to enter several agreements to, for the first time, bring Activision's content to several cloud gaming services. This court responsibility in this case is narrow. It is to decide if, notwithstanding these current circumstances, the merger should be halted, perhaps even terminated. Pending resolution of the FTC administrative action, for the reasons explained, the court finds the FTC has not shown a likelihood it will prevail on its claim this particular vertical merger and the specific industry may substantially lessen competition. To the contrary, the record evidence points to more consumer access to Call of Duty and other Activision content. The motion for a preliminary injunction is therefore denied. So the FTC ain't get the injunction. It's wraps. It's current. The judge pretty much is coming to the conclusion that, look, Microsoft is looking to actually bring this game to more platforms, more players to play. Y'all haven't really made a great case about why we shouldn't let this go through in fear of competition and things like that. And that's kind of what stuff I've been hearing throughout the process. I tried not to pay attention too much of one side versus the other. But one thing that was very loud and clear that people were saying is that the FTC is not showing why this is bad for the consumers. The FTC is not showing why this is bad for competition. They only, seemed like they were trying to protect Sony. In addition, you got statements from people like Brad Smith from Microsoft, and he states that we're grateful to the court in San Francisco for this quick and thorough decision and hope other jurisdictions will continue working towards a timely resolution. As we've demonstrated consistently throughout this process, we are committed to working creatively and collaboratively to address regulatory concerns. Phil Spencer also chimed in with what he had to say about the deal. We're grateful to the court for swiftly deciding in our favor. The evidence showed the Activision Blizzard deal is good for the industry, and the FTC's claims about console switching, multi-game subscription services, and cloud don't reflect the realities of the gaming market. He also said, since we first announced this deal, our commitment to bringing more games to more people and more devices has only grown. We've signed multiple agreements to make Activision Blizzard games, Xbox first-party games, and Game Pass all available to more players than they are today. We know that players around the world have been watching this case closely and are proud of our efforts to expand player access and choice throughout this journey. Players have been watching this case a little bit too goddamn close, if you ask me. Motherfuckers thinking they lawyers on the timeline. Motherfuckers focus more in on this than they actually are on games. And that's when this shit got weird. I was like, all right, y'all taking this shit to the next level. I'm not feeling that. Y'all out there bugging. Now that the case is, done for the US, because the FTC is fighting for the US, there is still the CMA. Now, the CMA is, of course, in the UK, and it was words going around that, Microsoft may even entertain the idea of pulling out of the UK if they're able to get, beat the FTC in court. That way they can completely close this deal and not have to worry about the UK. But minutes after Judge Corley's decision, both the CMA and Microsoft have agreed to pause their legal battle in the UK to negotiate how Activision Blizzard deal could be modified to address the CMA's cloud gaming concerns. The CAT will need to approve this pause, but it increasingly looks like all parties are willing to secure a remedy in the UK. So it's looking like once this deal went through in terms of the judge being on Microsoft's side in this case, Microsoft looked at the CMA, was like, y'all want some of this too? Y'all want, like Debo did, Red's father and Friday? Y'all want some of this too? Then the CMA looked at him like, no. Like, let's try to figure something out on the, on the side where we could come to an agreement. That way we ain't got to go through this court embarrassment. It's also looking like a deal might have been made. It says Microsoft and the CMA have agreed on the small divestiture to address the regulator's concerns. So that we're going to get more details about that, but that's all good signs point to this deal being closed. Now, what does this mean moving forward now for everything that's happening? So Microsoft will then now have all of Activision Blizzard King IP under their, under their umbrella. So that's a lot of revenue that they're going to have coming in. I'm sure they're going to move quickly to try and get a lot of these previous older titles into Game Pass. That way they can grow that library. I don't know what the situation is with Call of Duty. I know PlayStation has some deals, so I don't know when those are up, when we can expect Call of Duty in Game Pass, if the next one's going to be in Game Pass. I know there's a little bit of a sticky situation going on there still because they have to honor prior, agreements and stuff like that. So in the future, I'm pretty sure you can expect a game like Call of Duty to be in Game Pass. And we know it's going to be on PlayStation at least for 10 years after the deal. I don't think Microsoft ever wants to pull Call of Duty away from PlayStation. I made a video previously saying that I wouldn't be mad at that. I actually would want them to do that because then it would force PlayStation to focus on their own multiplayer games and get down to the nitty gritty and make their library better. Because right now, we got Gran Turismo, MLB, Lord knows what the hell is going on with factions. Uncharted, that was years ago. So they got to do a little bit of better of a job first party wise. And you see that they're invested more into first party, but they got to really, as much as they do it with the single player, we want to see that stuff with the multiplayer as well. That way, you don't have to rely on something like a Call. I mean, nothing can replace a Call of Duty, but maybe you can catch lightning in a bottle and a flash in the pan and have something that can create a large amount of revenue for you that's your own. And that's what I want to see more from PlayStation. So if that's what happens with this, then that might be a positive to come out of it. Now, for the people that are Call of Duty fans or Activision Blizzard King fans, maybe they don't feel too comfortable with Microsoft owning all of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? There is a lot to be said about Microsoft's, first party management and their output and things like that. So maybe as a Call of Duty fan, this worries you. Maybe they're, if they're operating independently, I don't know. Maybe, it stays the same, but just being under the umbrella, because they're all going to have to answer to somebody, regardless if you operate independently. If you're owned by something, you're going to have to answer to somebody. So everybody has a boss. So things can change, maybe for the worse or for the better. So that's, remains to be seen. But let me know down in the comments what y'all think about this. Xbox getting the W in the court. What Sony can do as a response. People saying they should buy Square Enix. Listen, I don't know about all of that. Listen, they usually try and buy developers that they have good relationships with. I think they should go in that route. I don't think anything is troublesome where they have to go out and buy up publishers. Now, first of all, they can't hang in terms of the wallet size. So if people are going to go out and buy up other big publishers, then that's just going to be what it is. So yeah, rate the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll catch y'all in my next video. Peace.